Hello, welcome back to yet another episode of Ask Cheshire TV. I'm Mark Nelson, Executive Director here at Cheshire TV, and just here to chit-chat a little bit more about how the station works, have a couple of honest to bona fide letters, and let's just begin. I'm so excited that we got one of these letters. This comes from a Mr. Regis Flibbin. And the question is, how does Cheshire TV choose the hosts for the shows that are on Channel 8, and how much do they get paid? Ho ho, that's rich. That's a question we actually get from time to time. And it makes me laugh, because if you do public access for very long, unless you're a whiz, you don't get money. There's no money in public access. Ask anybody. Basically, anybody who wants to be on Cheshire TV There's no hoops to jump through other than showing up and doing what you say you're going to do. There's no approval. There's no nothing, buddy. It's come on down. I like to do my Johnny Olsen impersonation when anybody talks about getting involved. Come on down. Basically what it is, if somebody wants to do a program on the channel, they stop in or call us or email us hey, what a fantastic idea to break in and say, if you'd like to send us an email, it's askctv@cheshiretv.org. If you'd like to give us a call, it's 603-283-6621. We are at 76 Winter Street in Keene, New Hampshire, 03431. And we are on Facebook at Facebook.com/Cheshire-TV. People can use any of those ways to tell us they're interested in doing a program. We don't say no. We can't say no. It's not in our nature to say no. It's not legal to say no. We are here to welcome everybody to do what they want. It's about freedom of speech, which always sounds highfalutin and rah-rah, wave the flag of your choice, but it really is more about letting people express themselves and give people access to the airwaves, which they otherwise would not have. So if somebody comes in and wants to do a show, a lot of people, it always kind of makes us here laugh because they feel like they need approval, so they want to tell us all of their beliefs or all of what they want to do, or would that be okay? And the answer is always, yes, it's okay. We always want to stop people and say, it's not important what you want to do. What important is important that you're here, and we want to help you make that happen. So, and as to the financial aspect, oh boy. It has been done in the past. People have achieved sponsorship for their shows on occasion. Somebody sitting on the other side of the glass, actually on both sides of the glass in the studio right now, have had sponsorships. Sponsorships can take the form of money, very rarely, or services. With the Cinemaniacs that Tom Cook and I do, for the longest time we were sponsored by Keene Cinemas and Video Headquarters, Crying Indian. What that meant for us was that they gave us free movies to watch so that we could talk about them on TV and not go broke in the process. Other shows have gotten sponsorships in the form of free food for the crew if they had a crew for their show. Other people have gotten sponsorships in the form of they got a free oil change when they mention a place in town. Now, there's a fine line with that. We can't advertise on Cheshire TV. There can be no what is called calls to action. You can't say everybody should go down to Flibbity Flops and buy some pork rinds because they're the best. You can say, I choose to go to Flibbity Flops to buy my pork rinds, and I really like them a lot. There are ways to do things. But nobody gets paid to do shows here. There's no approval process. It's really, if you want to do it, we help you do it. And if you don't want to do it, chess is nice too. So that was one, as they used to say about Beatlemania, not an actual letter, but an incredible simulation. We have a second letter. They're just flooding in 5 minutes before the show began. It's amazing. From a Mr. Julian Assange, I don't know how you pronounce that. What if I wanted to use camera gear but not submit what I shot? Fantastic question. And there go my notes. I'll wing it. You can check out camera gear from us, and with the full knowledge that you will not be giving us anything in return. Basically, the way it works, I'm going to go over here for this because, it's important. Basically, the way it works is it's a fair exchange. If you live, work, or go to school full-time in Keene or Swansea, you can be a free member. Membership has its privileges, as they used to say. It entitles you to use of our facility, use of our equipment, use of staff on a limited basis to get your thing done. What we ask in exchange is if you check out camera gear, we need something in exchange to put on TV. Checking out equipment results in programming for the channel. We each get something out of it, and it's wonderful. It doesn't mean you have to give us every second of what you shot. Some people get a little nervous, and they're like, what if some of it's bad? Well, don't give that to us. Just give us what's good, or what you wanted to give us. If you check out camera gear and bring it back, and I mean, if it's an occasion like you were going to shoot a outdoor slot car racing for some reason, and it got rained out, well, you know, fine, it got rained out, it didn't happen. Or if you were sick. But if you check out equipment and you shoot a bunch of things that you don't want to give us, we will then charge you the rental rate for that equipment, which is pretty reasonable, frankly. Or there can be additional fees incurred. If you want to go and use our equipment to shoot something that's commercial, that you are going to get paid for and is not intended for the channel, you can rent our gear. It's there. There are rental rates. They're pretty reasonable. I think they're probably pretty comparable to what you would pay a rental house anywhere else to rent a camera, tripod, and whatnot. So if you're interested in doing that thing, we do have people do that on occasion. We have some youths and some adults who want to go and shoot things on the weekends or whatever that they're getting paid for that's not intended for Cheshire TV, and that's cool. As long as it's not taking equipment out of the hands of members who are using it for Cheshire TV purposes, rentals work good. That was so important that I had to use a camera 2 to tell you that. Now I'm going to go back over here. That's a little help for Rick back there. We're nothing if not professional. Not professional. So, yeah, that's sort of the deal with that. You can check out camera gear really to do whatever you want. There's no, as I was saying earlier, we don't have any rules about the content. We have our mature content policy, which is if what you submit to us contains nudity, profanity, or graphic medical procedures, it has to be on after 10 p.m., 10 p.m. to 4 a.m., figuring that there are no impressionable eyes. 6 a.m., 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Sorry, I've been corrected. We all love a good correction now and again, don't we? So yes, there's no really rules about what you can and can't put on the air. We can't look at anything that comes on the air by law ahead of time. That would be considered prior restraint. So we accept what you have. You fill out a little form that says, you check off the box. If it's mature content, it means we run it after 10. That's that. We don't get a lot of that kind of stuff. Once in a while we do, but you know, it's not too big a deal. So now that those honest to goodness letters are out of the way, I had something I wanted to talk about today, calling out to all the nonprofits in the area. Are you a nonprofit? Well, thank you for the work that you do. Also, we are a wonderful resource that not all of the nonprofits locally know about or take advantage of in a polite way. We're free advertising, in case you didn't know. There is a group that does a program called Live United. You might have heard of them, the United Way. Their show is the example I use for a lot of organizations on how you can do a show and have it highlight your organization and let people know about what's coming up and things like that. They have one or two consistent hosts that alternate on occasion, who's always sort of the foundation for the program. And each week, someone from one of the United Way sponsored organizations comes on the air and talks about what they do. They may have stills, they may have video clips. It might be in relation to an event that's coming up or a fundraising drive that's coming up or some kind of initiative, or it might just be, hey, here's what Meals on Wheels does. So that's an outstanding example of what a nonprofit can do on our channel. And that's pretty simple. That's two people show up every week and they talk for a half hour and then they leave and they've got a program that they can run endlessly on our channel. They can take a video clip of that, or video copy of that, video file I should say, put that on YouTube, embed that on their website, embed that on Facebook, spread it all over the place. Anything you create here is yours, not ours. So you can do whatever else with it you want. All we ask is that we have a copy that we can play on the air to fill our airwaves. So if you're a nonprofit, there's the idea of doing a program. It doesn't have to be a weekly program. It can be a one-off. Somebody came, the Kiwanis came in a while back, and they had a bicycle event going on, and they sat down for a little while in the studio and talked, and we ran that, right around the time of that event, and that worked well to help spread the word, information, advertising for this bicycle event. You can sit down for however long it takes. Length is not an issue in what we do here. If you want to sit down and talk for 5 minutes, we will run the heck out of that in between shows. If you want to sit down and talk for 50 minutes, we will run the heck out of that as a 1 hour special. You could do monthly programs, you could do weekly programs, you could do a special. It doesn't really matter to us. You can come in and do a PSA, which not many people take advantage of, but you can sit down here like I am, and actually I'm going to do when we're done taping this, and you just jibber jabber for however long you need to get the information out. You have graphics with you. It can even predominantly be graphics, and we just use what you say as voiceover on the air. And then we can run those as PSAs for events or for membership drives or for information about what you do as an organization. You don't need to have us involved at all. If you have your own videos you would like to run on Cheshire TV. I know, again, the United Way has a series of PSAs that we run that I think are national United Way pieces that we run as in between programs endlessly. The Swamp Bats have a video we just ran this morning that is wonderful, that is a dental care featuring Ribby that an outside organization produced, and they just gave it to us and we run the heck out of it. I know a lot of people think of the internet as where to get all your information and stuff. And that's true too, but we're another venue, and hey, it's free, so why not? Also, we have Channel 10, which is predominantly filled with city and school meetings for Keene and Swansea. But between those meetings, for anywhere between a few minutes to a few hours sometimes, we have the community bulletin board. So if you have 640 by 480 JPEG files that are horizontally oriented. Here's a little tip for everybody. There's a great PSA that's a comedic PSA online about don't shoot vertical video, and I'm a huge proponent of vertical video. The world is horizontal, folks. Our channel broadcasts 4:3 currently, still. We're a little behind the curve on that. But even if we didn't, all TVs are shaped like this. No TVs are shaped like this. So when people send us their flyer to put on Channel 10, what it winds up being is a thin vertical stripe in a huge sea of horizontal nothingness. And sometimes it's a little bit of a squintathon to try to read that. So if you're sending us something that you want, if you have a local nonprofit that you has anything that you want to tell us, if it's an event, a membership drive, general information about who you are, whatever, if you send us a horizontally oriented 4:3, 640 by 480 pixels JPEG, we put that on Channel 10. And if it's formatted correctly and it's legible, we put that on within moments of when we get them via email, actually. So if you have that, that's fantastic. We get those on, we fill our airwaves with those. If you don't have the ability or technical know-how to create one of those, you can send us the basic information via email, and that's cbb@cheshiretv.org is the best way to send that, but really any of us who get that via email, we know what these are. If you send us that information, and it's the W's. What is it, where is it, when is it, and what is the cost? And for more information, thank you. A voice came to me from above. For more information, contact. If you give us those basic things, we can craft a very simple and legible slide that we'll run a lot on Channel 10. And again, it's free advertising. Sometimes people will send us press releases, and that becomes trickier because in a busy day, we can't always sit down and try to pick out those W's from 6 paragraphs and things like that. But we do our best to get all that on there. So that brings us to another topic that has nothing to do with what I've been talking about up till now, and we will shuffle off this way for that because, I mean, the man set up a camera, I might as well use it, right? And first, let's just do a free promotion for the joy of water. Oh, that's good water. We're moving soon-ish, Lee Majors. We are moving because the building that we are in, the Keene Library Annex, located at lovely 76 Winter Street, is being renovated to connect to the library and to make use of the second floor, which currently is mostly abandoned and wonderfully creepy. But soon it will be useful for multiple uses, including community events. And in order to make that happen, we can't really keep operating in the space we're in if people are swinging hammers and buzzsaws and whip chains and things like that around us. There might be martial arts involved. I'm not sure who they're hiring to do the work. So we will be located in the K Fox room in the basement of the library. If you know the Keene Public Library, right next door to us, it's where everybody goes when they can't find our building. The basement of the library, it's a large open room. It's where they have the library book sale and where they have had it for a really long time. We're going to shift operations, cram operations into that room. And in doing so, we have a lot of old, previously owned equipment and items that we need to get rid of. First and foremost, we have 5 air conditioners, 5 big honkin' dinged up air conditioners that work wonderfully. We used them right up until last summer, so they're not functional, they're just cosmetically a little dinged up. We are selling those for $20 each. Yes, 20 smackers a piece, and we're willing to dicker because we really need to get rid of these things. So we have those. If you would like to come by, we are at 76 Winter Street. If you want to give us a ring, it is 603-283-6621. If you want to take a look at those and hopefully take them off our hands, we may give you a fantastic deal on them. They're priced to move. They're hard to move, but they're priced to move. We also have a few mechanical, we'll put pictures up so I don't have to use my hands quite so much. We have a few work lamps that all, of course, work well, and they have a big, heavy base that you can put them on, or they can clamp to the side of a desk or something. They're originally like work lamps for desks. We have 4 or 5 of those. I don't recall the price on them, but they're incredibly inexpensive, and they're just things that we don't need. So we may also have various elements of old video equipment that if you've ever wanted to take a sledgehammer to an old switcher, this may be a very affordable way to do that. And or if you're somebody who likes scrap metal, give us a call because we've got a lot of things that could be easily hauled away and may make you just, pennies on the dollar for those things. Now we'll go back to the center and less commerce. So it's funny, I thought I was going to get 2 episodes out of the way today, but I don't think I have that much to talk about. Speaking of commerce, this is more of a fun thing that I keep meaning to do a commercial for these, but I don't feel it. No offense to anybody who may or may not be in the room. There's frankly nobody attractive enough who works here to really pull off modeling one of these things. But we actually have Cheshire TV t-shirts that are for sale. And they look a little something like this. It's nothing fancy, but it's what we got. It's our logo on a black shirt, nothing on the back. These are a modified version of the crew shirts you may see if you see any of us out in the field shooting an event. It says video crew across the back. Those are reserved for people who are actually our video crew. But we do have those t-shirts, and they are for sale here at Cheshire TV. I do not recall how much they cost, but let me tell you, they're very affordable. They're I don't remember. I don't want to quote a price and have somebody come in and say, that's outrageous. Or I don't want to quote a price and have somebody come in and say, that's too little, I won't pay that much. Some people are weird, you never know. But we do have those shirts, and we have a small amount of them. But if you want to show your local pride and support nonprofit, local public TV, we get shirts. I don't even have a shirt. I should probably get one. I just have these. You have to work here to get these, so apply within. That's pretty much all I have this week. I'm cooking some kind of sick, so the next time you hear me, I may sound far more like Brenda Vaccaro than I do right now. But I want to invite you to contact us with any questions or comments you may have about our station, and it is CheshireTV.org, the website. The email is askctv@CheshireTV.org. Sound familiar? Facebook is facebook.com/Cheshire-TV. The mailing address is Cheshire TV, P.O. Box 903, Keene, New Hampshire, 03431. Physically, we are 76 Winter Street, which is the building to the right of the library if you were walking in to return books to the library. And that's about it, really. That's all I got. I'm running out of steam here. So I will see you again soon, and I hope until we meet again, everything is lovely and it doesn't snow again in my God. Hi, I'm Mark, Executive Director of Cheshire TV, and I will see you on TV.